Good morning, everyone. Happy Groundhog's Day. It looks like 6 more weeks of winter. Aren't we all excited? It's okay if you're not. Anyway, looking here at the futures market, I was looking for a little bit of a sell-off yesterday. We didn't get it. We ended up closing high of day, pushing right on up there. Look at that March, that big old dip that we have going on. I wonder if this may actually end up setting up as a really an invert head and shoulders. You don't know. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that. But wow, do you feel like it's red? No, it's green. It's red. It's green. It's red. It's green. The sector rotation is off the charts. And we were looking at these tech companies a week ago when Fed Chair Powell spoke and talked about interest rates, and all of tech said, "Oh my gosh," and they ran away. Well, they came back with some friends, and look at the move here. We've had earnings, lots of really good earnings. Apple really, setting a stage there last week. And then last night we had AMD, and you're going to see these are gapping up pretty big this morning. In fact, AMD is sitting at 130, 120 after closing yesterday at 116. And then all the rage, Google. So Google had kind of a mixed review, but then they announced that they are doing a 20-for-1 split. So wow, that's going to bring those share prices down probably around $150. So I don't know when that split's supposed to happen. I'll have to go and look. But wow, what an amazing turnaround. They are sitting at $3,040 right now in Google, and we still have Amazon on top. So this is really lending some strength to the overall market. Now, I will throw a little bit of caution out there because we do have, today we had the ADP report that came out, and they were expecting 207,000, and we actually lost 301,000, right? And we have the initial claims tomorrow. That'll probably be kind of vanilla, but that labor report, and they're already painting the picture that it's going to be a disappointment. So all that being said, it's not really affecting futures very much. I mean, they're kind of just hanging in there. So NASDAQ really showing that strength with those Google and AMD earnings. So a lot of good. I'm trying to remember who else reported last night. But okay, anyway, moving right along here. I don't want to get bogged down in all those details, but if you're feeling that whiplash, and especially during the day, so something we've noticed that we've been paying attention to when you come in and during the day and you're like, oh, it's going along great, it's going along great. And then we get, we get some weird, we take our move, we're like, okay, oh, well, we're going to sell off a little bit. Nope, we're catching a bid. We're going to stay in this range, and then boom, we just take off at the end of the day. So that's what we've seen. Whereas last week it was just the opposite. We came into the end of the day, and I was like, okay, we're gonna sell it off. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on those moves. So okay, let's hop on into those charts. Obviously, for day trading, keep an eye on Google. UPS off of their earnings yesterday. AMD. All of these really performing very, very well. Netflix, if I can type, Netflix working its way through its gap. And the reason I keep this as a day trade, because it did have that nice bullish gap, big candles working its way through. The next real resistance here is at the 20. But keeping this as a day trade, because this could quickly go into a sideways action or maybe pull back a little bit. So I think taking those gains pretty quickly just makes sense. But what do I have on my list? What am I really watching today? Well, I'm already in XLE and XOM, but I can't help but put out, for people who maybe aren't in anything, some more of these plays. The energy sector is doing really well, and we have really cold weather. We're dealing with, winter storm after winter storm, and of course all of the political and news out of Russia and Ukraine, right? So that weighs pretty heavily on the energy market. So looking at APA, Apache Corporation here, This is a breakout, watching for a continued breakout. If you pull it back on a chart, you can see that although it looks like we're making brand new highs and maybe an inverted head and shoulders here. It's funny, I didn't even, that this is the weekly chart, but you can see we have plenty of room to go, and I'm targeting that 38 area initially for then a continued move on here in AP8. So these, I like the AP8 35 call. I like it right there at 35. Keep it pretty tight on the stop in case we do have a little bit of a pullback. But again, my initial target there is up here at this previous high at 38.12. Well, sticking with that energy sector, VLO. So VLO performing very well. We're right at a breakout level for the weekly, right at a breakout level. If I hop over here onto the daily, you see plenty of room to go. Actually, we did hit that high yesterday before coming back in and sitting inside this candle just a little bit. So looking for the continued breakout there in VLO. And I like the 90s entry around 86.50 or an opening range break. Right? If we always an opening range break is a good plan if you are not at your, or if you've exceeded your entry area. Well, then Apple. Yep, this actually made it here to the real setup list. Look, so again, big earnings, monster moves. Yesterday we took just a little bit of a break, sat right inside this candle. This we see this pattern over and over, and although this tail is a little bit longer than what I would have liked to have seen, the price action sitting right inside here, looking for a blast off here, and looking to the 179.50 and then the 182.94 for a previous high. So those are just a really nice setup. We still have some pretty decent volume here, and again, with all of those other earnings, I think this could give us a very nice push here. So look at names like MU, Xilinx, XLNX, QCOM, all of these, anything that has to do with the chips, NXPI, they reported here just recently, did well. So all of these names are really catching some excitement. And then yesterday, we also played SoFi, right? So stepping over into financials. This is going to confirm a 3-8 cross here today, up over the 20. Anything over the 20, I like this. Still on the day trade side, unless we get a really strong close as we push up toward the 50. AFRM. I like this over the 20, just a, maybe an overnight trade or so, because we have earnings coming up. So all of these are shaping up pretty nicely. Coin, we saw a coin over the past few sessions make its way up, not quite a 3-8 cross, but above some recent resistance. Our next resistance here will be at the gap in the 20 area. So lots of names here to keep an eye on. If you have any questions, reach out. Heather C. at GivingTreeTrading.com.